I'm Yen and welcome to our series of Inspired by Motherhood. And today I'm really excited to have J Chong up in this episode. Yay! Thank you for taking the time to join us, J.
Oh, thank you. I'm very honored. Thank you for having me.
J is a dynamic young female entrepreneur. You know, you have inspired me so much with what you have done and are doing as well. So at the age of 27, she started out her news and media agency, DC Edit. She has amassed a following of almost 300k following in IG, oh my. And recently she started her own label,
Yes.
The Good Edition,
Correct.
and I'm wearing her piece. Thank you so much.
I'm
for
also wearing Good
gifting.
Edition.
Yeah, and very young mother of two very young boys as well. Age?
Ezra and Ilya. So Ezra is 2 and Ilya is 9 months.
So later on, I'll be asking how does she juggle with motherhood, with founding of businesses, and so much going on. So let's move on to the next segment to get to know each other better. We have this special segment to use 5 words to describe each other.
Okay. Alright, so I go first. Okay, I think Yen is very elegant. So, you know, I also think that she's very friendly. She's very giving, you know, through all my interactions with you. You know, you're also very, giving because, you know, throughout my whole pregnancy, she has always been very helpful and always, you know, look on the lookout, especially through my second pregnancy with Ilya. Also, 2 other words is I'm gonna exceed. Very good in Mandarin, which I also aspire to be as good as her. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Well, to hear Drea complimenting me as elegant is like, wow, thank you coming from her. As for Drea yourself, you come across to me as someone who is really very confident.
Okay.
When I see your photo shoots on magazine or on your post, you have that kind of say. With your head up high. There's one thing that I've learned from you and picked up when we take a picture together as well. So I think with that it comes with a certain part of like being assertive.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's never nervous. Like on set before this, I was like starting to get a bit jittery. But you're not in like any of your videos I can see. And even with our minister, you did one IG live with him, Mr. Ong Kong.
Yes.
And you were like so steady.
Actually, I was very nervous with Mr. Ong. Yes.
Oh, I can't tell.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, because I take every live stream or every recording like a casual chit-chat session, you know. So to me, it's about sharing my personal life, sharing my story. So it's like, it's like talking to a friend.
Okay,
So
yeah.
Like not a nervous thing. Yeah.
A very good perspective to learn from. And with all this confidence and all, she's not at all proud person. You're very down to earth. You like to chill out and like bond with your friends and families as well. I think that is really what I would love to embody as well. And practical. You see, from your collection of Good Edition, I see that these are practical pieces that we can have in our wardrobe and it lasts a long mileage to wear.
Yes, correct. Yeah, I think you know, creating every piece in Good Edition. I think also because as I'm older, I don't want to buy. You know, I don't want to suka buy clothes. You know, I want to invest in pieces that can last in my wardrobe or that I can have multiple wears from.
Yeah. And lastly, a natural beauty. Very nice defined features, even without makeup, and you just slap on her lip balm and sunblock and you're ready to go.
That's me every day if I'm not on a live stream or if I don't have to interact with customers. Yeah, so sunscreen and that's it.
Yeah, and in every episode, I will prepare a bird's nest dish. And today's is inspired by you. I added in rose because rose is a beauty product and natural bird's nest itself is also a beauty drink. So please enjoy. See, tell me how you like it.
The rose as well?
No, you don't need to. You can just push it aside.
Okay.
This is for garnishing. So when I cook this, I added another batch of rose in and immersed for about 10 minutes.
Wow, very good. You must share with me your recipe. Wow. So how do you get that sweetness and that flavor from the bird's nest?
Bird's nest itself has a very natural protein kind of egg white flavor, and the sweetness is from rock sugar. That's all. That's it.
Oh,
That's
wow.
it.
Okay.
There's really many ways to cook your bird's nest. So do stay tuned to the rest of our episode to learn what kind of creation I've created during each episode. I remember I saw one of your posts that you announced your marriage through the period of circuit breaker, right before that. And then shortly after, you got pregnant. So how was pregnancy for you navigating through this kind of pandemic situation?
Okay, so we were supposed to get married. We were on the week we were supposed to get married. That was circuit breaker. So it was the most troublesome thing I ever had to go through. In the end, we solemnized first, and then we figured that we would have the wedding after COVID. Yeah, which is now lah. We're supposed to have a wedding now, but anyway.
Really?
No. Just kidding. So we were supposed to have the wedding. We thought, okay, after COVID is done, we'll have the wedding. Then I got pregnant very quickly. I got pregnant within 2 months. Yeah, of us, officially getting married, and then fast forward. I gave birth and then had my second kid, so I don't think we're actually gonna have the wedding anymore. Yeah, so I don't think we'll have the wedding anymore. Maybe we will renew our vows 10 years down the road. I don't know.
That's another nice thing to do as well. I mean, every decade or every milestone you go through.
Correct. So I guess my pregnancy, I found out because I missed my period. I think that's how everybody finds out. And I didn't take very long to decide on a gynae. I just called my friend up, and asked her for her gynae because I think, she's someone that I trust, and whoever she trusts, I would trust as well. And my pregnancy was relatively okay. The first trimester, both pregnancies, I had very similar symptoms. The first trimester, I didn't eat much, so I will always lose weight in my first trimester. Like I can't even think about food because I can't even stomach anything. Second trimester onwards is okay, but then it's when all the backaches come. That's when you start feeling you have all the spasms in your legs. So for me, it's like, wow, my leg spasm every night.
Every night.
Every night. And it was the most painful thing ever at night because it just shocks you in the middle of the night. And third trimester, so for my first pregnancy, my third trimester was a bit complicated because I had preeclampsia. In the end, we also had to do an emergency C-section because of preeclampsia.
Oh wow! So your birth plan then was going through a natural birth, was it, or you had it in plan?
I think I'm quite a chill pregnant person.
You're a chill person in nature, not only pregnant. So, usually also.
Yeah, I guess for me it's whatever gets the baby out naturally. Because first time moms, I still remember, wow, so many options. Got water birth, got you can squat down and give birth. There's so many ways to give birth. And then I was like, at the end of the day, it's just whatever the doctor tells me to do. So obviously I would have liked to try for natural, but then my gynae was like, we gotta C-sec now. Yeah,
now
because,
as in
I think when I went for my last checkup, which was at 36, 37 weeks, she said you can't even go home. You have to C-sec either today or tomorrow.
How do you feel then? Were you suddenly all plans are not in your mind and just have to go for it?
No, I think again I was prepared. I'm also always very prepared. So I already knew that she would not let me go home. So we packed the maternity bag in the car already. And then I guess, but of course I was a bit scared because it's my first major surgery. I had never been hospitalized before.
Definitely.
So it's my first major surgery, and I was a bit scared lah. But my husband was there, and he was there to hold my hand, so at least that was good. Because I heard that during COVID, the fathers can't even be there in the room. during C-section.
Oh, so was he allowed?
He was
doing
allowed.
that?
He was
Oh,
allowed.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So luckily he was allowed, but I cannot imagine going through alone.
Or on your own, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's good that you have a very supportive partner alongside with you going through all this.
Correct.
So for your second pregnancy, it was also through C-sec. And did you have the same condition, pre-eclampsia, for the second one?
So second pregnancy was very smooth. My second baby is really an angel baby. Yeah, we really call him angel baby because he's like really gives you no problems, even up to now, like no problems at all.
Oh, so cute. Yeah, and you mentioned that first trimester you had no appetite, but any morning sickness that you
I guess the sickness is no morning sickness, so I didn't
That's so
vomit.
fortunate.
Yeah, but throughout the day you just feel very uneasy, or you feel like you just have no appetite, don't want to eat. Yeah, that was me.
So usually mothers should avoid like stimulating food, chili and cold food to improve the digestive system, and also to take lighter meals. Of course, that helps. Yeah. So right after marriage, I think that you are at the your peak of your modeling time period, and then you found out that you were pregnant, and having to accept all these body changes and putting on like belly growing. Were there any adjustments that you had to make?
I think I was generally okay during the pregnancy. I don't think I was affected, but it did affect my work. So especially when I'm designing clothes, because I always collaborate with like other brands to design like collections for them. So this was before Good Edition, and I had to design the clothes, and normally I will also try on the clothes to understand the fit and the feel of the clothes, because I think that's very important. I've been doing this for like 10 years, so I've tried so many clothes before. The only way for me to really perfect the fit is if I try it firsthand. Yeah. So that was something that I couldn't do once my belly got big lah. And obviously I'm not like sample size anymore. So also it was tough. Okay, but now that I have given birth to my second child, I'm trying to also lose the weight and try to go lose. Okay, I'm also trying to lose the pregnancy weight so that I can also try on the clothes.
Oh, okay. You look like I couldn't tell.
Slowly getting there. Yeah.
So usually when I meet my friends or mothers who are pregnant, I will usually ask them, are you ready? Do you have like plans, birth plan, confinement plan, breastfeeding plan? So we talked about birth plan just now. It didn't go according to what you have preferred, but listen to the gynae, and then the stress is removed, and we just follow the expertise advice. I think that's a great perspective. Secondly, will be confinement plan. So confinement plan, we will pay respect to the dietary part, the physical part, and most importantly, the mental wellness. And what's different is because, Drea, you're married to Imran, who is a Malay. So I'm just curious, will there be any difference in Malay confinement versus Chinese confinement?
Actually, based on my conversations with my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law, there is no such thing as like a confinement nanny for the Malay culture lah. It's not as or even if they have, it's not as xiong as the Chinese. Chinese is like 5 weeks. You already know you're pregnant, you must book the confinement nanny already. But they do have postpartum regime like jamu massage, jamu wrap. Yeah.
How about the food wise? Is there a certain way of cooking or certain things that you must eat?
No, not really. I think my mother-in-law just left me to cook whatever I wanted to eat, because I think she knows that I prefer, I think Chinese cuisine more. So and for me, I always like soup. I always like rice, soup, eggs, tofu. So she never really restricted like my diet, or she never really commented on my diet in any way.
So what's important is soup is definitely nourishing, warming your body, easy to digest, to break down. Yeah. How about like confinement rules and regime that did you follow?
I think for my mother-in-law, she would have preferred if I bought all the baby stuff only in 3rd trimester. Yeah, I think to them it's like a bit pantang. They call it like superstitious to prepare too early. Yeah.
Okay, like the baby cot?
Yeah, too
the car
early. Yeah,
seat?
you can only prepare like later on, in third trimester onwards.
Part.
Yeah, but for me, I was like, wow, I know I'm pregnant, I buy everything, you know, I'm so excited about the cot, stroller, you know, I go and Google all the checklists, I make sure I check. Actually, that's something that I really miss the most. I miss the anticipation, you know, from the first pregnancy, like, you know, you're so excited to have a baby, then you plan and you prepare the room, you know, you prepare the checklist. That's something that I really miss.
That's interesting because for me, I would think that, wow, so many things to buy. I would feel like stressed having a long shopping list.
Oh, I like checklists. So I love to do checklists. I love to, like, you know, even when I was pregnant, I was already counting like, oh, how many onesie I have, how many pajamas I have, how many handkerchiefs I have. Then I count. I make sure I have everything, you know, stated in the list. Yeah, so it was so exciting and such a happy moment for me.
So for Ilya, it was all pass me down from Isra. Nothing
So
of those.
Ilya, no checklist. Yeah, but I think with Ilya, the good thing is we were already experienced as like parents, so we already know what to expect. Yeah.
Then during your confinement period, did you like break any rules? Like,
Oh yes. So like I showered like immediately, like 24 hours after the surgery, because wow, I really need to shower. I cannot like not shower. I don't know how some people, they don't shower, they don't wash their hair for like
I
a
know,
month,
right? Yeah.
I don't even know how they do it. And for me, I always drink cold water. Even my mother, up to now, she always scold me. Yeah, she always says stop drinking cold water. But for me, I only drink cold water.
But I serve her warm water and warm bird's nest.
Okay, yes, warm and warm.
In TCM, cold will slow down the digestion, affecting the spleen and the digestive system. So we always consume things warm.
Okay.
Especially for bird's nest, you want the goodness to be absorbed in properly well, and also it's always like without any food, without any like huge meal in combination, you take it in an empty stomach.
How about so you never drink cold water?
I do occasionally sometimes. Like sometimes I do crave for cold desserts, especially when the weather is hot. But most of the time I will have a thermal flask and drinking hot water.
Hot water, wow.
And I hear that hot water helps in slimming as well because it improves the circulation.
Okay. I will drink less cold water.
Yeah, so mothers out there, you are actually okay and allowed to shower, but of course in a suitable environment. When you are showered finished, towel dry, and not directly in front of a fan, blowing the wind in. Yeah, we do practice that with herbal bath as well. Yeah, so it's totally okay. You don't need to go through like not having to shower, having to worry that you can't shower for the whole month because it's not practical in Singapore.
Actually, right, now that you mentioned herbal bath, so what is the science behind the herbal bath?
You tried our herbal bath before,
yes,
right?
And, no, even both pregnancy 30-day herbal bath, you know, and I really enjoy it because the smell, you know, and like it's so hot. But the thing is, I don't have bathtub. You know, so when I wash, right, it's like, okay, just like this, just like, you know, soak my body a little bit, and then I rinse off. Do you rinse off with water?
Okay, the science behind.
Okay, see, now I'm only learning this after 2 pregnancies. Okay, so do I wash off with water? No,
you don't need to. You don't need to. Yeah. So I created a herbal bath with 2 benefits, 2 concepts in mind. Firstly, definitely it needs to smell nice because I think that mental wellness for mothers are real. I mean, I want to help them to elevate the stress that they feel. So after showering with that, they feel like very relaxed, very calm and soothing. The smell part is important to me, and the other part will be the ingredients that we use inside helps to relieve wind in the body.
Okay.
So because the pores are open, the joints, the muscles are loosened, so people may get rheumatism, joint aches and pain through this concept. So with the herbal bath, it helps to remove the wind. So we have like ingredients such as lemongrass, 大风艾 inside, blended with some essential oils to provide the kind of scent, very spa-like. So how mothers can use is usually like bak kut teh, they boil it and they transfer it to a tub. Even your baby bathtub works.
Okay.
So you can just wet towel and cleanse the whole body.
Okay.
Yeah, so showering is definitely okay. Even for mothers who wish to make gynae trips out to see the doctor, yeah, they can also travel out, but do be mindful to avoid crowded areas. And yeah, because we wouldn't, the immunity level will be slightly lower.
Yes, true. Wow, I think within 1 week I was like out shopping already with the baby, with my baby, just bring the baby all around like Takashimaya. Yeah, so but my confinement nanny never say anything lah. Also, oh yes, when I was in hospital, after my surgery, right, I really craved McDonald's.
Fast food.
I asked my husband, can you buy McDonald's? He's like, are you sure you can eat or not? Then I told him, I just gave birth, so you better give me the McDonald's like right now.
The queen, yeah. I think that there is certainly a craving in place. So it's not fast food for every meal, but if it's just one-off.
One-off, yes. I promise it was just one-off.
So cute. Isra, Ilya are just 16 months apart, right?
Correct.
It's exactly how Ethan and Emma is 16 months apart.
Oh, okay.
So to me, because one is still very young and the other baby came along, I find it really hard to take care of both of them. So I founded Madam Partum after they were like 5 years old.
Okay.
When they're more independent, then I feel that I have more time for myself and I could be able to focus on my career. So how do you do it? I mean, both of them are so young, and you have founded Good Addition before Ilya was born or right after?
Throughout my pregnancy.
Wow.
Yeah, so throughout my pregnancy, I was designing, sampling, doing the branding. So yeah, I gave birth to Ilya, then Good Addition was launched. So it was like, yeah, even like in the hospital, I'm like talking about like the clothes, reading up about fashion businesses and all that. I mean, I think definitely it's not easy. Firstly, you must accept help. You must be willing to let someone take care of your child, like your helper or your in-laws. So for me, I have to let go. Yeah, really let go that part. If not, if I always stress myself like, I'm a bad mother, I should be at home, why I never cook all the meals for my children, am I a bad mother? But actually, just let it go, let somebody take care of all these things so that you can focus on other things also. But also, recently I did ask my husband, I feel like, okay, so Good Addition launched already, and I'm still working every day on like Good Addition. And I also told him recently, like, okay, I don't want to look back in my life and think that, will I regret this moment in my life where I focus on Good Addition's launch instead of the children. Yeah.
What did he say to you?
He said that, don't worry, the children very young, they won't remember.
True?
Yeah, it's true lah, but the thing is, I will remember ma. Yeah. So, it's true lah. I mean, I dedicated a lot of time to my first son, but my second son, I definitely the attention is less compared to my firstborn. But yeah, I think I think life events happen for a reason. So maybe there's a reason why I have to launch Good Addition now, rather than later. So I feel like everything is planned for me in its time lah.
Definitely. And I believe you will have spent quality time with them. It's not the quantity. When you're there, you're present with both of them. It's definitely not easy having to juggle with work-life balance, and mom's guilt is there all the time. Even when my kids are so bigger now, I still have mom's guilt every day. So I think that it will be mom's guilt till I become, I don't know, 20, till they become 20 or so. It's how we focus on what's priority at a point of time.
Yeah.
And then at a different period, then they'll be taken care of.
I mean, I also look back in my younger days. My parents also went to work, but at the end of the day, that didn't make me fall in love with them less.
Yes.
They went to work, they went overseas to do all their factory visits and all that. But that didn't make me feel like, I love my daddy less because he went on this trip. Yeah, and I still, when I look back, I think about all I can remember are the happy moments.
And communicating with them openly,
correct.
expressing how much you love them, I think is very important too. Yeah. So I would like to know like what inspired you with Good Addition, this brand, and what inspired you to come up with this label?
I have been collaborating with brands for so many years, where I design like collections for them. Then I realized I think it's time to start. I feel like I'm ready to start, my own thing. After, learning from all these collaborations, I feel like, okay, I have the experience, I have the knowledge to start my own thing lah. So that's when I feel that, it's modeled after like my own wardrobe.
Your style.
Yeah, my style.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I really wanted to, really bring my style to the brand.
Yeah, I see that so much in her, and when I see some of my friends wearing your clothing, it exudes the kind of relaxed fit, comfortable style that I see in you. Would you have any advice or like one advice to the mothers out there who are listening in to us?
My advice is actually no advice. I think, when we are pregnant, even like when we're raising our children, we hear a lot of noise, like how we should raise our children, what we should do, don't do this, don't do that. And we get very stressed out. I remember during my breastfeeding when I first started breastfeeding, and I was so engorged, and there were so many people who were trying to give me advice. My mother, my mother-in-law, my confinement nanny, the lactation consultant in the hospital, the lactation masseuse in the hospital, and I also attended a birth class like a doula, So there's so many people trying to give me advice. I remember crying. I remember I was in so much pain from the engorgement, so I cry. I tell my husband I don't know what to do. It's so painful. And then like while I was doing the massage, he hold my hand there. I cry through the massage. So then I think we decided to listen to one person only. Yeah, we discussed. I think it's very important to discuss with your husband. Yeah, so we discussed together like who do we think makes sense for us lah, and then we decided on one person and we follow that strategy. Rather than you try a bit here, you try a bit there, and it doesn't
so
work.
confusing.
Correct.
And you get lost. So what works for the other person may not work for
Correct.
you and your family.
Yes. So do you. Yeah. Do
you.
you. Yeah.
Well said.